Hey, it's Patricia Murphy. It's Monday. This is Seattle Now. In just a few days, anyone over 16 can get in line for a vaccine. And just in time, because young people are the main source of community spread these days. We'll talk with UW epidemiologist Judith Malmgren about that in a minute. But first, let's get you caught up. A toddler was in critical condition late Sunday, one of 4 victims shot in the Central District. Witnesses called 911 around 3:20 to report that someone was firing into a parking lot near 23rd and Jackson. It's unclear what prompted the shooting. Governor Inslee is hinting he may move some counties back to Phase 2 today. On Friday, a large group of state businesses asked him to hold off for a bit. The letter said moving back to Phase 2 would punish struggling businesses while doing little to stop the spread of the virus. And a coalition of leaders advocating for Black lives is calling on lawmakers and the governor to reconcile a slate of bills aimed at police accountability. 9 bills from the House and Senate, in part, would ban tactics like chokeholds and no-knock warrants. Officers would be required to intervene when other officers use excessive force, and the Attorney General would handle misconduct investigations. The Washington Black Lives Matter Alliance is calling the bills a historic step toward police accountability in the state. We're finally about to throw open the gates here in Washington and declare a whole bunch more people eligible to get vaccinated. Starting Thursday, anybody 16 and up can get a shot. That's already the case for most of the country, but better late than never, because young people are driving infections and things are starting to head in the wrong direction. You may have heard in the headlines that Governor Inslee might start rolling back some parts of the state to Phase 2 later today. UW epidemiologist Judith Malmgren is here to give us another pandemic reality check. Judith, good to talk to you again.
Oh, I'm so happy to be speaking to you today.
So this is a trend we have been talking about from the beginning, that young people were a vector. Also, that the state's intentional vaccination plan was to focus on older people. They had to pick a lane, right, given the number of vaccinations that we had. Do you think this was the wrong choice?
No, I think it was the right choice. We want to prevent deaths first, and that's what we've done. We've dropped the death rate. We've dropped hospitalization rates, although those are trending up again, too. But we want to get out of that severe danger zone first. And then we want to switch to stopping the spread of disease, because every single spike has been led by 20 to 34-year-olds. That's where the disease is most active, because they work in the public sector, they're socially active. And we went to Phase 3 too soon, and we have an uptick in cases again.
So it sounds like this younger group is one we really need to focus on getting vaccinated at this point. And of course, the state is opening up vaccine eligibility this week. Yes. How should we be focusing our efforts right now?
We need to set up vaccination clinics in Fremont. We need to set up vaccination clinics where people congregate. We need to set up the vaccination clinic on Fraternity and Sorority Row at the University of Washington, because those individuals in those particular living situations are spreading disease into many different parts of the city wherever they're active. It's spreading into the dorms. South Seattle is worse. We need to set up clinics there. And you do not have to be signed up for any medical plan at all. You can be completely uninsured and you can still get a vaccine. That needs to be first and foremost, because we have a lot of people that don't listen to NPR. They don't read the newspaper in print or online, and they don't know that it's free.
It sounds like what you're saying is this massive vaccine site that we have at Lumen Field may not be as effective as setting up smaller vaccine sites in specific neighborhoods to target specific groups of people.
That is absolutely correct, Patricia. You are 100% right. People who really, really want to get vaccinated will probably all be vaccinated in the next month or two. So we're already getting to the point of people who are saying, Well, I was going to get vaccinated, but I had to drive in my car to get the vaccine, and I had to make an appointment, and it was really inconvenient. And perhaps valid in their world, not valid in mine, but that's something that people say. Another thing is, like I said, I don't have the money to pay for vaccine. Well, that's okay. It's not going to cost you anything. We still have probably people who are undocumented in the United States, and they're afraid of being picked up by ICE. That fear is never going to go away. I have some ideas of how to set up the vaccine systems.
I want to hear them.
I think first the state should hire a really good PR firm to really target all different kinds of communication that get to the different populations instead of just Jeff Duchin going on King 5 News at 6 o'clock. So here's an idea. You get a small pint of beer if you get a vaccine. If you're going to go to the bar, which are open, then you get your beer, but you have to get vaccinated first. Then when you're going to Costco, you want to get in, you get a vaccination and you get a free hot dog. I really think it would work. People love those hot dogs.
Carrot stick.
Exactly, because it's just, I think that the vaccine hesitancy is small. It's really not a big, like, oh, I'm never going to get vaccinated. It's like, oh, I just want to think about it some more. There's people that should get it more than me. I'm not going to get sick. Well, the new B117 variant affects all ages and is bad. So if you are in your 20s and you thought, what if I get it? I'm not going to get that sick. Guess what? B117 doesn't care what you heard before because B117 is a new game.
Let's talk a little bit, Judith, about the uptick that you mentioned in cases. Governor Inslee says we've let our guard down, and he might be rolling back some counties as soon as today. Is it surprising to you that this is where we're at right now? Because, look, it's nice outside. Everybody's feeling like they should be getting out again.
No, this does not surprise me one bit. When rates go down, they go down because we have controls in place. Rates go up when we remove those controls. You can see it over and over again in the chart of the state. I have it here in front of me. I watch it all the time. So, no, if you open up, there's no reason to think that behaviors aren't related to uptick in cases. And if you change behaviors and you allow for more human interaction, the virus spreads human to human. And when you do that, we are going to have an uptick in cases. 100%.
I've heard analysts, though, say we are banking on vaccinations eclipsing the uptick in cases at some point, that we're going to meet in the middle and get to where we need to be. Is that plausible?
Yeah, that is. So if we start vaccinating everybody over 16 and up and really concentrated on that, I mean, in a real concerted fashion, coordinated fashion, and we were able to get to that age group, we could probably knock this down pretty quickly.
One more thing before I let you go, Judith. I'm hearing a lot of guilt from younger people, youngish people maybe even, about getting the vaccine right now because they feel like they're still jumping the line. It sounds like you are just blowing that out of the water, that they just got to stop thinking that way.
Don't anybody who's listening today, whatever your age is, whoever you are, just get signed up and get vaccinated. Nobody cares. I mean, people are getting vaccinated. You need to get vaccinated too. You are a human being. You have the right to be out there and get vaccinated. Especially what we want is the willing volunteers. And if those people that have that awareness, let's get those out of the way now. And then because we have a lot of more unwilling people and people who don't want to be bothered, they're going to be our challenge. And we'll have to really rise to that task.
All right, you heard it here. If you're over 16, get in line. Do not delay and get your vaccine. Dr. Judith Malmgren, great to talk to you again.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Seattle Now is produced by Clare McGrane, Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, and Jason Pagano. Matt Jorgensen does our music. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you tomorrow.